the Nelogi police station here in the state was killed on duty. Now, this constable was trying to stop a tractor allegedly transporting illegally mined sand near Kalaburagi. His attempts were thwarted as the driver of the tractor ran over the police constable instead. The constable died on the spot. Meanwhile, the constable has been identified here as 51-year-old Mysore Chauhan. A case has also been registered at the Nelogi police station and the accused driver has been arrested. Another person, of course, the cops are still on the lookout for. Let's take a look at some of the reactions that are coming in on this.
So this is not the first time that we've seen, a constable losing his life, especially in heinous crimes like these. So how are you going to ensure that your own police force is safe, sir, going forward?
Yeah, well, this is a challenge we are facing not just today. This is always there. It happened in Udupi, it happened in other places. So we, along with the revenue department, mining department, PWD department, all put together, we have to act and stop this menace. And we will definitely do it.
Are you going to be holding a meeting, sir, with those respective departments? This is just one case, sir, but going forward, how will you ensure this doesn't happen?
In future, we will definitely have a meeting of some sort of a coordination, and we will take necessary action to that effect.
It's a very sad thing. So, government immediately have to take action because otherwise this illegal activities will continue. Normally, when Congress come, Gundagiri will come. So that is the thing. Now they will start the Gundagiri.
This was, wherever the police got information, we were sending our people, and right now, because it's summer time, such complaints were on a rise, so we were ensuring night patrolling, especially these complaints come at night, so night patrolling and night picketing points were put. In many places it has come under control, but here our HC, in order to control such activities, lost his life. And we will ensure that punishment is meted out to the person who has committed this crime, and there's more inter-agency coordination which is needed, and DC had also visited the site and he is assured of that.
Well, viewers, sand mining in Karnataka, of course, is not an issue that dates back to a couple of years. It's going on for decades. The problem here is the nexus between the mafia and the politicians. Now, Mirror Now is the only channel, of course, which has been reporting from on ground. My colleague Imran, of course, has been speaking to the victim's family, has been on the ground speaking to the police officials as well. He joins us live now on the broadcast. Imran, this is a shocking case, isn't it? The audacity of, these men who think that they can get away by even killing a police officer who was just trying to do his duty. What have you learned? Of course, you're there in Kalaburagi. Give us the latest updates that's coming in on the story.
Well, Deepak, as you rightly put, the sand mafia is has a very big nexus, not just with the local officials, but even with the politicians. And even the politicians depend on them for the election, for their winning the candidate there, because many of they have the tentacles deep roots, not only department, but also the political class. Now, this incident happens and brought to light again the nexus and how powerful they are, that they are so entrenched that they managed to kill a police officer on duty. Now, what we're getting to know is that this person has the main accused has absconded, but the driver has been arrested, and 3 more are on the lookout of the police. Earlier, the SP of the district said that they are saddened by the complete news and the brazenness shown by the sand mafia there. They are looking. They have arrested the driver, but the main culprit is still absconding, and 3 more colleague of his involved in this case. Now, they say the investigation has going on, and they have set up teams to nab the accused in this case. But this incident brings to light the kind of nexus sand mafia has and enjoys the kind of support they have, and the brazenness in which they manage to kill a police officer on duty is what just shows the extent they wield the power in the district, especially the industry itself. Now, to what extent the police will be able to nab the main accused is what we have to see. The sand mafia issue is not a new one. We have seen reporting for almost a decade now. The sand mafia has grown strong over the years, and they have enjoy clout both in the administration or along with the politicians. Now, this case in Kalaburagi, the government has announced compensation for the family. family and also said that they will give a job as part of the humanitarian so that one of the family member can earn and be part of the government and take care of the family. But the larger question is, how will they tackle the illegal sand mining, and what will the concrete steps the government will ensure that this kind of incident doesn't happen, and largely how they cut the tentacles of the sand mafia?
Well, that's going to be interesting how they actually cut the tentacles, because government after government, as far as sand mafia is concerned, they continue to operate one way or the other. There are big promises, of course, that come in from the governments, but what is really done on the ground is the moot question that comes up. Joining us to discuss more about this, we have Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda from the BJP. We're also expecting a Congress spokesperson to join us as well. We'll, of course, have to question them considering this has happened under their regime. But let me ask the BJP spokesperson here. As far as this particular incident is concerned, of course, it's condemnable. At this point in time, what's the BJP, going to say? Because you can't completely blame it on the Congress party. They've just come in. These are not people who've been operating just because the Congress has been coming. It's an everlasting problem. A government after a government has made promises but haven't been able to really fix this menace.
We have acted heavily on the sand mining when we were in the ruling dispensation, but this very act of killing a constable shows the lackluster and the fragile leadership of the Congress dispensation, which is in the power, and it also shows it's most of the dishonest and the corrupt politicians, and also the sand mafia, the unholy nexus they are having should be done away with. They should act heavily on the perpetrator of this very incident. It should be highly condemnable. It is highly condemnable. It shouldn't be repeated. The Congress government hasn't still acted upon this. This is dismal state of affairs of the internal security which they're having. Whenever they come to power, they try to affiliate, they try to appease one particular religion, they try to germinate, they try to propagate all sort of these actions like this. They will not do anything about it. They still have not done anything that is tangible, that the perpetrator that they deserve. They still have not given any sort of punishment to him. It's highly condemnable. If the state of a person who is who is supposed to protect the law and order of the state, that is the policeman, has this fate, what is the fate of a normal citizen who has voted them to power? What is the fate of an electorate who have believed their 5 guarantees and voted them to power? If they are there in the dispensation, the internal security of our state will definitely go to abysmally low level, and this government should be castigated for the same, and they should be held responsible and accountable for the very act of this gruesome act, and it is highly condemnable.
Right. We are also now joined in by Bhavya Narasimhamurthy from the Congress. Bhavya, we've heard some we've heard some BJP reactions, earlier in the day, which is saying Gundagiri begins when the Congress, takes charge. But, whatever said and done, as far as sand mafia, like I've been mentioning, is not a problem of today's. But government after government, you've been there from 2013 to 18, the issue continued. The BJP was there. The issue, of course, hasn't really changed. And now with you back in power, we've seen, somebody run over a policeman. That's appalling, to say the least.
Yes, it's just not acceptable that a police constable in uniform, he had to lose his life because of such a illegal mining. But we are going to investigate it thoroughly, and no matter who is involved in this thing, whether it is a Congress politician, just how the BJP spokesperson spoke without any evidence, even if it is a Congress politician or a BJP politician. That's the difference between Congress party and BJP party, We are going to make sure the culprit gets the right punishment. Whatever happens, the investigation will go on. Whoever turns out to be the main culprit, they will be given the right punishment. Yes, and like I said, the government has already announced a government job for his family member, and that way we can compensate. However, we can't bring him back his life, and that's really sad that a police constable, and this is a sad day for the whole state. This is not acceptable. We totally understand, but we will make sure the justice is served.
Well, Bhavya,
This is what we
I
can
understand that you're talking about compensation, you're talking about jobs for the victim's family, but the moot question here is what's the Congress going to do to prevent such incidents? Because that's going to be important. How are you going to stop the stand mafia from operating? Because are you going to bring in a legislation? Because up until now, the only legislations that you're talking about is what the BJP brought in and what the Congress plans to change. Are you going to tackle these sort of issues that plague the state?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Well, Bhavya, I'm saying, are you going to tackle these sort of issues? Because up until now, what's been happening is that whatever legislations that the BJP brought in, you're busy changing them. Now, these are issues that are plaguing the state. Are you going to concentrate on ensuring that this incident does not occur again? The sand mafia in the state, is put an end. Somewhere you put an end to this menace that's growing in the state.
State administration involves everything. Law and order is also equally important as in other, bills and other areas of administration. It's not like we have ignored one of the areas. We have already set up a cabinet already, and the ministers are doing their job in their area of work. And it's not like we are totally only involved with reversing BJP policies, but that is also important when they do these unconstitutional policies, what they have brought in and the way they have changed the textbooks. We have to reverse them no matter what. Law and order is also important. We will look into what has happened in this case, and the culprit will be brought to justice no matter which political party they belong to, or whichever, even if the person is a business tycoon or whoever it is, we will make sure he is brought to justice, and we will make sure the deceased, the police constable who has lost his life, he and his family get justice. That is what we can say. Other than that, comparing this with Congress concentrating on other things, a state administration, we can't concentrate on one particular area of work. We have to concentrate on every area of work. The day we took charge, the very next day, a life was lost in Bengaluru, BBMP. After that, the DCM who is in charge of BBMP, he is doing rounds on ground, the whole Bangalore. He's making sure another episode of this does not occur. The same way, now that this has happened and it is condemnable, but we will make sure the person is brought to justice and this won't repeat again.
Well, it won't repeat again. That's the biggest question, whether the Congress can ensure that, because the citizens need to feel safe. The police officials need to feel safe who are operating on duty, risking their lives. And in this particular case, a policeman has also lost his life. I request both the BJP and the Congress spokespersons to stay on with us. We are going to, bring in another story here. As citizens have been demanding more accountability from the police, the